Alex Pereira's head movement is insane, man. That is the caption that was over this video, this new sparring footage of Pereira moving around with a dude who's quite a bit bigger than him. So let's dive right in and look at this footage. We've got a couple things to cover today. Number one, we're gonna look at this new sparring footage of Alex Pereira moving around boxing, his hands down in that classic way, which he normally does. And then we have to move on and we have to talk about how you might improve your own head movement. Maybe not exactly like Pereira's because his low hands can complicate things for most people, but I can give you some great tips on how to improve in that area. Want to remind everybody, my Strike Ready courses, I have the offense and the defense. Both of these are going to help your skill level grow so much. I've had thousands, literally thousands of people take these courses already. The feedback is always fantastic. People saying that their skill level is just bumping up so much. There's a link down below and you guys can grab your training courses right now, the ones that help me win these belts. Exact same strategies, exact same tips, techniques, all of it that I've used to win the glory belts. So let's start off and let's look at this sparring footage with Pereira. So one of the first things that I like to do when I'm watching somebody execute awesome head movement is go, oh, how good is the person that they're sparring with? And this guy doesn't look like he's super skilled by any means, but he's not bad. You know, somebody that Pereira can at least move with and get some good training, I suppose. Pereira just lighting him up, in particular off the jab, fading back and throwing that counter, what I call a corkscrew shot. But this dude just getting picked apart right now. We are gonna go back and look at the initial slips that Pereira does. Tags him there again. Oh, poor dude gets wobbled. So let's return to the beginning here and see if I can find what I want. A couple jabs coming from Pereira. His hands are ultra low. Snaps a jab. There we go. So what he did there, very often what we are taught when somebody throws a jab is to slip to the outside. But Pereira is slipping to the inside and popping over top. And the reason this one works quite well sometimes is when people execute the jab, they don't put their shoulder high enough. And if they're not doing that proper technique, shoulder super tight, they're exposed. So as they throw, you move to the inside and you just catch them right in the jaw. Spectacular way to land. So overall, lovely head movement from Pereira. The dude he's sparring is not high level. I don't want to say he's not a pro fighter because I don't know that. But watching him, I'm going, yeah, he's definitely not somebody that I would deem that super, super high skill level. But when we see Pereira moving, and he does this all the time when he fights, right? His hands are down and he's always basing things in terms of not getting hit on either pulling back, dropping to the side, and sometimes rolling with shots when necessary. He's very good at not taking massive impact to his head and mitigating that by those small little motions. Now you might be wondering, why does he do that? What benefit is there to not having his hands up here? Well, counter-wise, because he's so good at getting these little small movements and then snapping back, he's much more dangerous with the counters, in my opinion, than if his hands are up here. From down here, in my experience, once you slip a shot, you see so much because your hands are not at all in the way, they're very loose, and you're so reliant on having to move your head that snapping an arm after is just so much easier than doing head movement here and trying to snap. I don't know exactly why that is, but that is the case. Now, when you're trying to improve your own head movement, one of the things that I found makes a massive difference is maintaining a bit of motion. Now, Pereira's not doing a lot of this, but when you watch high-level boxers, they're always in motion if they have low arms. They're not just standing here frozen, because creating motion is much harder than already being in motion. Similar to if you were getting ready to sprint. Do you want to start from here or do you want to start with a little bit of a run? Much easier to start with a little bit of a run and not have to create motion from nothing. And I'm not talking massive movements. You don't have to be in there doing all this kind of stuff. I'm just talking just small little things. And sometimes you end up already maneuvering your head in the correct direction. Like if I'm here and somebody throws a jab right now, I'm already in motion and I just create a little bit more movement. So that is something which is going to benefit you so much. In addition, what we want to have the ability to do is mix between pulling back, dropping to the side, and rolling, because sometimes we have to do multiple things. Like we have to pull back and roll to the side, and being able to move from one of those to the other, or even do two of them at once, is very beneficial. But not sticking with, oh, I have to pull back and that's all I can do, or I have to drop to the side and that's all I can do. Yes, you can mix and match sometimes when it's necessary. Now, a lot of times when you see Pereira, it looks like he knows what's coming beforehand, right? He'll throw a punch and he's already in motion. He throws another punch and he's already slipping. Is that because he's got some crazy superpower? No. It's because we know generally, okay, if I throw a cross, a good follow-up to the cross is rolling under. And you will see boxers sometimes throw something and just do that with no real reason because nobody even countered them. But what you can start doing if you're on the bag or something, you could go something along the lines of, okay, I throw the jab, I fade. I throw the hook, I roll under. I go hook cross, I roll under. I come with an uppercut, I create distance. And you might go, well, all that motion with your head was unnecessary because the person didn't even throw back. They don't always throw back. But when they do, it makes you look like a genius. So if you're working, okay, I'm going to be standing here and I'm going to hit a cross, you don't just have to stop there. You could go with a pull or cross to a drop and then follow up with something else. And then again, finish with head movement. And this sometimes is just that pre-movement, I call it, pre-slipping, which all of a sudden allows you to slip a shot when somebody throws. And that's what Pereira is doing very often. He is doing those pre-slipping motions, and not in reaction to something, but in anticipation of something coming his way. If you can tie that in with that already little bit of movement, all of a sudden slipping becomes so much easier. That has been my experience, at least with slipping, when I do decide to utilize it in sparring. But if you've watched my fights, you know that is not my main form of defense. I can do it. I have some great fight clips where I've pulled off beautiful head movement, but in general, I am using a high guard. But that's all for us here today. Thanks for joining, guys. Train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.